Alright, today we're going to strain some yogurt to get some whey. And what you need is a bowl, a colander, I prefer plastic for this, and then a piece of some type of, I use t-shirt material, some close weave fabric, but anything that's a good t-shirt material without any holes in it can be cut from an old t-shirt. This was a scrap of fabric from some pajamas I made, that's why it's colorful. And a quart of plain yogurt. I prefer whole milk. This is a non-fat one that I got from the store. Either one will make good whey. I just prefer the whole milk for eating the resulting yogurt cheese you get from it. The important thing with whatever yogurt you get is to look at the ingredients list, and it should say something like this one. It says cultured, pasteurized, grade A low-fat milk and non-fat milk solids. Okay, not the best label in the world, but for our purposes, it will do. This is the key. Contains active yogurt cultures, and there is no pectin of any kind in here. Pectin is simply a soluble fiber usually made from something like apple peels. It's what makes jelly gel, and it's perfectly okay to eat, but what it does is it's put in by yogurt makers so that the whey does not separate out. We want the whey to separate out, so you've got to find a plain, no flavor, no sugar, no nothing, just yogurt. I'm not going to talk today about why I don't like what they've put in this yogurt, and it's best to make your own, but I bought this for the sake of this demonstration. It was the only one they had in my store at the time. See how the whey is separate on the top? Can you see that? So you're going to dump this whole thing into your t-shirt material in the colander, and you're going to let this sit at room temperature. Yes, it's safe at room temperature. Just keep your cats away from it. I fold the fabric over, especially if it's in fly season. Make sure that's nice. See, that's nice and secure. Nothing's going to get in there. And set this for several hours on your counter at room temperature, because the whey does not drain well unless it's at room temperature. So you can see it already starting to drip. The weight of the yogurt will do that. So we're going to set that aside. And here's one that I did a couple days ago. And after a few hours when most of the whey is dripped out, you can set this in your fridge overnight so that it continues dripping, but it's at a safer temperature. I don't have much room in my fridge at any given time. I have so many projects going. So I transfer it to a pitcher. And what I do is, you can see the whey at the bottom. What I do is I would take this bowl, pour the whey into there, and then I would take this fabric, put a spoon or knife or any piece of silverware across that, and then take the opposite corners, and I'm going to tie just a double knot, and then take the opposite ones, tie a double knot. Now you have something that you can hang across your pitcher. Now this will have reduced in volume by then, but it'll still be a little too big to fit into an average pitcher, so you'll need to sort of stuff it in there. After it's completely drained out, you'll see it fits nicely. Alright, now the question is what to do with this. Well, since we're talking about whey today, I'll address what to do with the whey first. This is the whey that you're going to use if you want to lacto-ferment vegetables and give them a head start, or any of the recipes that might call for live active whey. If you're not a cheese maker, then yogurt is a great source of whey, or kefir. You can do the same thing with kefir. So what I like to do is pour it. If you're going to use it up pretty quick, you can just put it in a jar in the fridge, a nice clean glass jar, and it will actually keep for up to several weeks. But if you don't think you're going to do a whole lot of stuff in the next few weeks, you can freeze it. And freezing it in an ice cube tray gives you nice little 1 ounce portions that you can use. I love these little Tupperware ones because they have lids, so if I forget about them, they don't dry out, the ice cubes don't dry out, and they don't get contaminated with anything in the freezer. If you want to use your ice cube tray for something else, you can simply pop them out into a Ziploc freezer bag, mark it with the date, and you're good to go. You can just use these right from the freezer in your whey project. Alright, what to do with the yogurt you've drained out. This is actually delicious. I don't like yogurt. I don't like the sourness. Something about it I don't like. But I like drained yogurt. I think a lot of the sour goes out with the whey. Alright, need a little bit child-proof knot here. There we go. See how that comes out? Now, you can just put it on a plate or in a bowl. Whoops. Sometimes, especially with the kefir, it gets a little stuck, and you can just get all the goodness off with a butter knife right onto your plate. Alright, that's not too bad. I'm not going to worry about that, but just to show you. Now this is lovely. It can be used like a cream cheese. It doesn't taste quite like a cream cheese, but it can be used like one. I like to flavor it. What I like to do is get a little bit of vanilla extract. You don't have to measure anything. Just maybe pour a teaspoon or so in there. I like a little sweetness. I like stevia because I'm not doing much sugar in my diet, but you could also use a little bit of honey, use a little bit of sugar, a little bit of maple syrup, whatever you like. And then you're going to just work that vanilla in. I'm just going to mix, mix, mix. You can certainly put it in a bowl, use a fork, you can put it in your mixing bowl if you want. Just keep mixing that until it's nicely mixed. Alright, that probably needs a little more mixing, but it's almost done. I'm going to show you what I do with it. You can use it plain, too, for this purpose. I like these little 1-cup canning jars, and you can get these little lids that go on them for if you're not going to can with them. I like to take a spoonful of this, maybe this much, pack it in the bottom of the jar, add some berries, like my favorite is frozen raspberries. You can use any kind of berries. Frozen berries, maybe sweetened with a little stevia. If you have fresh berries, even better. But the frozen ones are great because they're available all year round, and they're usually frozen at the peak of ripeness. Then I'll put another layer of the yogurt, another layer of the berries, and I'll keep parfaiting that up till the jar is full. And I love the glass jars because I can see it in the fridge, and it's very tempting. And that's a way to make ahead a very quick snack or a quick lunch or something if you have to grab and go. Alright. I think that's it. I think that covers it. So we've got whey to use for our lacto-fermented vegetables. We put this in the freezer. We can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. Do 14 batches of something from 1 quart of yogurt. And actually probably 15. There's a little bit left in here that didn't fit in there. And then we've got probably 3 or 4 nice yogurt snacks in here that are really concentrated and very, very yummy. Give this a try even if you don't like yogurt. I bet you'll like this. Alright, that's it for our whey lesson.